Happy Easter to all of you. So, as you might know, painting Easter eggs is fun. But this year, and of course last year, it would be different because of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. So today we want to give you some new facts, info, and more about this coronavirus because our older ones do not. Okay, so let's get started. First thing up is, of course, all the strain we know is the regular coronavirus that came from China. Then it went to the Italian form of the virus. And then after that, and then it went into the British and Nigerian form. Well, the Nigerian one is almost completely out. Okay, so and then it went back into the South African form, and then from there it went back into the Danish strain. So there's 6. So all came from the coronavirus all the way. Alright, so all these strains most likely is bad. Because all of them are. All the good news is the Nigerian one's almost out. And same for the Danish strain. It's almost out. So there's 4 main strains of corona. There's Chinese, Italian, British, and South African. So, and Danish and Nigerian, but that's less common. Alright, so how can you protect yourself from corona? Well, let me tell you. 2 preventions. Of course, everybody knows how to prevent some. You need a mask, kind of like this one. Alright, and also, what else you can do is you have to be at least 6 feet apart from each other. Alright, and the reason why I know this is, well, my mom had corona. Alright, so let's continue this. So preventions is important too. You just wear a mask 6 feet apart, and probably the best ones, so important that I have to do another section for it. Vaccinate, of course. So 1/3 of the U.S. population has at least had 1 dose of coronavirus vaccine, and the most effective is Pfizer, the most effective COVID-19 vaccine. It is 100% effective. The second is Moderna at 85%. Number 3 is AstraZeneca at 79%. And last but not least is Johnson & Johnson vaccine, aka J&J, at 72%. So look at the list. Pfizer is the most effective, and J&J is the least. But still, all of them still protect you from corona, right? My dad got the Pfizer one at the very top. But he said that the doctors pick whatever you do. So don't mess around. And since I listed those, number 3 is vaccines is next. So you see, since we already talked about some vaccine, we're going to talk to you about how they partly work. Alright? Okay, so when a vaccine gets injected into your skin, a normal one, it would send in some new viruses, but they're not as strong. They're ours. Alright, so for your cells, that is a problem since it's not weak enough that it doesn't trigger your immune system at all, and not strong enough to trigger full-on disease. So what your immune system does after that is it will see the virus and call in more cells. If you want to learn more about vaccines, go visit our viruses and vaccine video. Alright, so that it calls in more cells. It creates some antibodies after harvesting a few of them, and killing them. But since some antibodies and memory cells still lurk around, they just protect you. So if corona comes back again, it will kill it. All right. So remember, these 2 are your main defense: the memory and the antibodies. All right. And also, but corona is different. It's something called a messenger RNA. And I'll talk about that too. So what messenger RNA vaccines do is, instead of injecting Real viruses, they inject DNA pieces of the virus into your body. And what that does is kind of complicated, but I'll simplify it. You see, when the vaccine puts in the DNA and RNA, it puts it into your DNA strain. But when your cell multiplies, it carries that. So that way. So after that, it also has some viruses too. And since your immune system and that all notices that, it will, call in your immune system patrols to deal with it. Study them, do a little bit of chemistry, produce some antibodies and memory cells, and just like real vaccines, they work. So that's a COVID-19 vaccine. All right. So what's next? Well, we've already talked about vaccines and all that, and how the COVID-19 vaccine works. So let's show you a little bit of something called a PowerPoint now, and it's going to explain to you what COVID-19 does to you. All right. So let's go there. This is called "What is a coronavirus?" and more importantly, what is a virus? So if you look at our logo correctly, you'll see that what is coronavirus and more importantly, what is a virus as our logo. Yeah, of course, I got rid of the old one. See? So we're going to figure that out in this slideshow. What is coronavirus? Like a normal virus has receptors that bind to other cells. Of course. That's how they, infect people. As they will, it's like a bind from them and scubas. It says viruses have RNA and DNA, the building blocks of life. So you see here, this is chromosomes here. And also the speech bubbles if you want to. I'm going to leave it here for a few seconds. Okay, so let's go. Ooh, you can actually, mess around with it. See?
Not cool.
Properties of coronavirus. Corona, like others, has chromosomes which are RNA and DNA. It got a line to protect it from cells. It also got receptors like we talked about earlier. See? The same exact things. It's wrapped around DNA. Alright? And also got a lining, the virus wall to protect it. See, and also I did the same thing again. Your immune system. Your immune system is made out of billions of cells. There is red blood cells, the 3D model, liver cells, macrophages, many cells call you home. That is true, as macrophages are part of your immune system. Red blood cells is that, your blood. Cells are your immune system. True. Let me show you. They are parts of a cell. They are there to kill viruses, including corona. They have cell walls, the one to the left, and insides, the one to the right. See, so this is the cell wall right here. And there is reproducing glands, chromosomes like we talked about, in the death center where they kill viruses. The body. Also, I had some issues with it. The heart. The heart is an organ. It pumps lots of blood and has lots of cells. It also is the best place for viruses to attack. Watch our heart video to learn more. This is it. Alright, so let's go next. You can also watch it. It's the first video we ever made. Waiting. The lungs. The lungs take in oxygen for the body to get air. It is the main target for most viruses. To protect it, it has a mucus lining. Many viruses are respiratory diseases, including corona. I could have included that. But also, there is vaccines. We already talked about that. Your digestive system is a network of organs like the stomach. small and large intestines. It digests the food and absorbs nutrients. It's also a good place for viruses to attack. Their immune system is in the digestive system. Choose mainly here. Small and large. All right. And there is. Oh wow, yeah, the digestive system's turning and flipping over. The immune system versus corona. Coronavirus attacks your respiratory system. It first attacks the immune system. It binds to certain receptors on your cells. Usually the immune system deals with the virus. And more videos down here for the immune system. How does the immune system work? And how the immune system gets nutrients. Coronavirus infections. Corona spreads through the air. When it gets into your lungs, it can cause tightness, fever, and shortness of breath. True. See, and there's also this bar graph. It's a pie chart, and we showed you this exact same page in math labs. It has no symptoms, mild, moderate, severe. See, this is the mild, no symptoms, moderate, severe. So there's a coronavirus timeline too, which is percentage of recovery days. 4 to 7 days, aka the dark blue, is very tiny. 7 to 9 days is much more common. The orange. 9 to 11 days is here. It's also very common. The most common, 11 to 14, is this yellow part, and 14 days and above is this light blue. This timeline, typical start of infection is of course day 1 of it for most people. Severe symptoms start in 1/4 of people, day 4. And recovery starts is day 14, and last but not least, COVID is the day 19. All right. Symptoms of coronavirus is, whoopsie. Symptoms of coronavirus is fever, chills, aches, dry cough, shortness of breath. And you can also learn more in our coronavirus explained video. There's a lot of videos that you had to watch before you watch this. Prevention of coronavirus, you have to wash your hands, wear a mask in public, stay 6 feet apart, and use the CDC precautions. Quarantine for 14 days if you are sick, and vaccinate. Learn more in this, since I also included the newer ones. And this is the end of the slideshow. Right? So let's continue. There's also ways to end the pandemic, too. For starters, don't be the first one. So one person that has corona can go spread on to 4 people. That is a lot of people, because 1, 2, 3, 4. And then those 4 might spread it on to 4 more. Although one person might have died, so would have passed it on. So that's how this pandemic started. It's just spreading. But here's the catch. So if somebody, like, say, one of these guys was vaccinated against the virus, he would have been immune to the virus. And thus, he would never have, even though he would have, so he could have prevented it. And just put it on to 3 people, then that, and then another patient would have spread it to only 2. But if one of those was vaccinated, really, he could have been a whole different story if vaccines. Without vaccines, you don't know. This phenomenon of preventing spreading is the way we can end this pandemic. So, and then here we are right now. Instead of having 8 people sick, only 6 people were. And if people keep on listening to the CDC, we could have ended one branch of this spreading. See? If these ones were there, never would have spread it to them. Because, they would have been born back. These patients would have never been possible. These ones here. So now, let's see how you can end this pandemic. Like, really. If only one person wasn't vaccinated and another was, then he would never spread it then. See, if both people weren't vaccinated, but for him, as that one had only infected one, it would have only spread it down to two of one vaccinated. Nope. Yeah, see, if vaccination was not here, then look, it prevented most cases from happening. And as more and more people keep on listening to the CDC, less and less people keep on getting sick. Until, when two people both vaccinated, the end of the branch, in for fact. 2. Alright, so that's probably the end of spreading. As they only transmitted to one, both vaccinated, ended one half of the tree. And this side could have, stopped this pandemic. But the one just keeps on going on and on and on. But look, vaccination prevented this one from getting worse. So, one person impacted the world. So, that's basically, So, that's a lot of spreading, though. But, I know coronavirus is hard and it's Easter. But really, traditions. You can still have a virtual party. You could watch an Easter movie together. I like using Teams for that. And, you can still enjoy your friends without, throwing in a party inside your house. But there's one catch. So if every single one of these people is vaccinated, like everybody in your party, then you can have a party, no mask, like really, no mask. It's not required. And social distancing, also not required. Alright, so that's what the CDC said. These are all CDC things, alright? So I hope you enjoyed this episode, alright? And because it's spell time. I hope you enjoy your Easter thing. Hope you enjoy your Easter where he gives you no eggs. Alright? Also, find the missing Easter egg. Tell us in the comments and you could get something special. Bye! For now. Because it's Bella's time. I forgot to do it. I forgot to tell you that. So, happy Easter to all of you. And sorry. My sister's not here yet. It's going to be a while. I bet she's coming. Alright? So, we are all united in a way. That if we work together, we can end this pandemic. Alright?
So it's upside down to me.
Okay, Bella, what do you have today?
I have this. Look at this. A bunny on his head. This is for cameras. So when the bunny hop on his head, it's gonna be funny. It's like that person is trying to put not like a wheel gun. It does something that points in and makes. If you watch a hot move, you could see it. So you got this. Hey, you got this person. He has no eyes now.
Wow.
Because he's not supposed to have eyes. Buddy. Oh yeah, and you can.